Welcome everybody to a new COD history series we started a couple episodes ago. This is where we go through every single Call of Duty and we select something, whether it's the best gun from every Call of Duty, the worst kill streak. You guys get the idea. In the comment section, let me know what you want to see in the future. But today, we are going to go over the best gun in every Call of Duty. So I'm going to pick one gun that was deemed the best in each Call of Duty, starting with COD 4 all the way up to Modern Warfare. Now, let me make a note here for you guys. We're talking about the best guns right now, not pre-patch or previous version. So if you boot the game up right now, this is going to be the best gun and no DLC guns are included. Drop a like and let's go. We're going to start off with COD 4 and the M16A4. This was an easy one. The M16 is one of those guns where you kind of have to wonder how it got through testing. I mean, I know COD 4 was breaking new ground at the time, but come on. Someone should have caught this. The M16 in COD 4 was one of your starting weapons in the multiplayer, and it was a 3-round burst assault rifle with no recoil, and it could kill in 2 bullets. And the burst came out of the barrel at 937 rounds per minute. Now you tell me, do you think a gun should be able to fire at 937 rounds per minute and kill in only 2 bullets in a game, okay? Thankfully, the M16 was hindered by the crappy connection of COD 4, but when Modern Warfare Remastered came out with improved server quality, all the bets were off. Many games devolved into M16 camping tournaments as players sat in corners daring each other to walk across the street. And I guess the new Modern Warfare, well, it's actually not too different from COD 4. Moving right along to World at War. Another easy one, the MP40. Now there's a bit of irony in this one. Treyarch is an American company making a game about a war that the Americans won, but when they got the balancing part of development, they decided to make a German SMG the overpowered thing in the game. The World at War MP40 would hit for 59 damage up close and decrease down to 29 damage at range, making it a 2 to 4 shot kill from anywhere on the map. And that's without stopping power, people. Maybe Treyarch was too busy taking a late history class to notice how broken this thing was during testing. Plus, with the dual magazine attachment, you could go into battle with 64 rounds in your mag, so you would never have to worry about reloading or using any skill. Thank goodness, Treyarch's weapon balancing got so much better after this one. The monthly giveaway is active, everybody. PlayStation 4. Drop a like, make sure your post notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. Make sure you're subscribed, and in the comment section, let me know what do you want for Christmas, and include your Twitter handle for a chance to win. Modern Warfare 2. This one, I like this one better. The UMP-45. Now, you would think that after Treyarch let the MP40 destroy an otherwise perfectly balanced game that they took a few notes. You'd be wrong. The MP40 was a slow-firing SMG with a big magazine that did way too much damage, so when Infinity Ward was coming up with guns for Modern Warfare 2, they decided to throw in the UMP-45, a slow-firing SMG with a big magazine that did a lot of damage. Now, this thing would hit between 35 and 40 damage, making it a 3-shot kill from anywhere on the map without stopping power, and with, well, it was virtually always a 2-shot kill, and just in case you hadn't gotten enough of the MP40 the year prior. Now, some people say the ACR was the best gun in Modern Warfare 2, and while that gun was a laser beam that Infinity Ward forgot to program recoil into, it could not kill people in 2 shots from across the map, while also calling itself an SMG. And now we've arrived at the original Black Ops. Following all the criticisms of World at War being dominated by one weapon, Treyarch took a hard look at itself while designing Black Ops and eventually came to the conclusion that the best course of action, let's do it again, let's run it back. The FAMAS. The FAMAS was a fully automatic assault rifle that fired just as fast as any SMG, but with more damage and better range. Now, I think somebody at Treyarch forgot what rifle was supposed to mean in a COD game, and due to the fact that the FAMAS outperformed the SMGs at close range, but also maintained a 4-shot kill from long ranges, it was far and away the best gun in the game, and despite having a lot of recoil, it wasn't anything you couldn't get used to. The FAMAS dominated the Black Ops multiplayer scene. While it did have one of the best firing sounds in COD history too, I can't deny that the game as a whole probably would have benefited from this gun being toned down a bit. Modern Warfare 3. Now we're going to get the ACR in there. The ACR 6.8 specifically. Now, following the constant debate over whether the ACR was overpowered or not in MW2, Infinity Ward decided to throw their hat into the ring by making another ACR and completely removing the need to debate over whether or not they had gone too far. This one, once again, fully automatic assault rifle with a good fire rate and virtually no recoil, but this time around, it would hit for between 30 and 45 damage, which meant it would kill in 3 to 4 shots anywhere on the map. Mix this up with some stopping power that's no longer there, right? Haha, got you there. And the addition of the Specialist package made the ACR one of the most easily spammed weapons in the game, especially with the frankly ludicrous 45-round mag that you could shove in it. So while it wasn't as extravagant or actively annoying as other guns on the list, it was certainly the best gun in Modern Warfare. I will let you guys decide if that's because it was too good or if the rest of the weapon sandbox wasn't good enough. Now we arrive to one of the best Call of Duties ever made, right? The M8A1 in Black Ops 2. After the M16 was so overpowered in COD 4, Activision was sure to send out the memo to the developers every year, reminding them not to make any more overpowered burst weapons. Well, the memo person over at Activision, they were fired during Black Ops 2's development, so Treyarch went ahead and made the M8A1, which was a 4-round burst rifle that only needed 3 bullets to kill and fired at an ungodly 1,250 rounds per minute. They weren't actually fired. I don't know who the memo person was. Seriously, you have to wonder, though, if Treyarch was deliberately trying to channel the COD 4 M16 with this thing because it was almost identical. Both guns were burst fire, but both guns only needed 1 less bullet from the burst to kill. Their burst came out insane fast, they reloaded quickly, and they were absolutely everywhere in each game's multiplayer. The M8 was clearly designed to be a defensive weapon for holding down objectives, but I'm sure we all know it ended up being an offensive juggernaut as people were jumping around corners and drop-shotting relentlessly with it. Talking about peeking around corners, Call of Duty Ghosts, the MTAR X. Now, despite having a good amount of weapons, the sandbox in Ghosts wasn't that memorable, if you guys know what I mean. There was a few standouts, but a lot of the guns in Ghosts were pretty forgettable due to the bland color palette and the underwhelming sound design. But if there's one gun that still managed to rise above the rest, it was the MTAR X, an assault rifle that was hilariously put in the SMG category. This thing would kill in 2 shots to the head or 3 shots to the body up close, and then it would decrease down to a maximum of a 4-shot kill at long range. Plus, with the low recoil, high fire rate, and great handling, it was hard to find a gun as versatile. It was. Sure, it may have had some annoying sights on it, and it may have reloaded slower than a snake on a unicycle, but in terms of raw damage and time to kill, you could not beat the MTAR X. That's why it's on the list. And now we reach Advanced Warfare. This is a default answer, I know. The BAL 27, Battle of Duty, yeah. There's going to be some hiccups when Sledgehammer made their first full-fledged game, especially since it was charting into new territory with advanced movement. And all things considered, the end product wasn't bad. And one of the small prices we had to pay for that was the weapon balance, which wasn't very good. One of the main reasons for this was the BAL, the starting assault rifle that was undeniably the best gun in the game even after the nerfs. Big magazine, low recoil, high damage, quick fire rate, clean iron sights, all these things contributed to this monster of a weapon completely breaking the game, and there wasn't anything else in Advanced Warfare that even came close to its level of versatility. It was called Battle of Duty for a reason, people. Next up is Black Ops 3. You're going to hate me for this, but I don't have a choice. The 205 Brecci, whatever. Black Ops 3 came out around when we started seeing that big push from game developers to make games easier and less oppressive to the noobs. And that is the only reason I can think of for the Brecci being as powerful as it was. Semi-automatic shotgun, killing 2 to 3 shots from absurd distances, and it had massive magazines so you wouldn't have to worry about running out of ammo ever. You could just run around mashing the right trigger and get kill after undeserved kill. If you ironically use the Brecci, well, you don't deserve thumbs. Infinite Warfare, the NV4. One of the most annoying things in a COD game is when you're playing the multiplayer and grinding the ranks out, but you find out you've already unlocked the best weapon. Now apparently, Infinity Ward wanted to make sure nobody ever forgot what it felt like because in Infinite Warfare, they gave us the MV4, the first gun that you unlocked and hands down the best gun in the game. It was not only the easiest gun in the game to use, but it was also the most versatile. The MV4 would kill in 4 shots up close and 5 shots at range while firing at 612 rounds per minute. Now that doesn't sound all that impressive, but the MV4's power didn't come from the gun itself, but rather everything else around it. It was by far the easiest gun in the game to use thanks to its low recoil, big mag, and generous damage. And in a game like Infinite Warfare where everyone is running around on the walls and jetpacking, it was easy. People gravitated to it and they abused it. Plus, because of handling speeds, it was pretty great across the board. It really was. There was no recoil with it. It wasn't there. So while the MV4 wasn't exactly flashy or blatantly overpowered, its ease of use and versatility made it the most popular gun in the game. World War II, the PPSH-41. Now Sledgehammer, if you're going to make a point of telling us how committed you are to realism and authenticity in your World War II game, you probably shouldn't have completely bastardized one of the most important firearms of the conflict. Historical inaccuracy aside, the PPSH is far and away the best gun in COD World War II thanks to its handling and its high rate of fire. I mean, you guys know. The PPSH will melt at close and medium range and only struggled once you backed up a significant distance. But if you knew how to manage the spacing, the gun was unstoppable. There's really not much else to say here other than make another jab about how inaccurate this thing was. But yeah. 2 left. Black Ops 4. You ready for this one? The SOG 9mm. Now, Black Ops 4 had a much longer time to kill than previous Call of Duty games, but clearly Treyarch didn't want anyone to be scared away by that, so they threw in a few weapons that still killed as if it was Modern Warfare 2. The SOG was a submachine gun and one of the weapons of choice for pro players and pub sweats alike thanks to its high fire rate, ridiculous time to kill, and abundance of attachments to make it even better. This was the gun you threw on whenever you didn't feel like trying anymore and you just wanted to feel like a badass, even if you weren't. And we've reached the end, the pinnacle, Modern Warfare 2019. Now, I assume during development someone said to the weapon designer, hey, the last game we made had an overpowered assault rifle early in the game, so let's be sure not to let this happen again. Then that guy sneezed in the weapon designer's face or something, so they ended up giving us the M4 out of spite. Fast firing, hard hitting, great range, quick reload, and a buttload of attachments just to make it better. The M4 is undeniably the best gun in the game after all the 725 nerfs, and if I had to make a video about this a week ago, I would have given this entry to the 725, which is like someone in Infinity Ward dared one of the developers to see if they could program a sniper in a shotgun's body and get it through testing without anyone noticing. But now that 725 has been brought back down to earth, we're going to give the spot to the M4. I'm hoping the M4 is the next on the nerf list because while the 725 spam isn't as bad, the M4 spam is just as bad as it was day one. And there's really no reason to use another assault rifle right now. And there you have it. Those are my picks for the best gun in every Call of Duty, not including DLC guns, and we're not talking about pre-patch or previous versions. You guys let me know where I got it right or wrong. Give me your list if you want to. There is another new COD history video up on the screen. If you guys would, click on that, and I'll see you over there.